Bitcoin is really fighting in this range right here, really fighting to break out to the upside or to see a breakdown. The bulls are fighting the bears, and yeah, the tension is really coming up right here. And what we also see, this is very interesting, is that we have a golden cross on the moving averages. And in today's video, guys, we are going to have a look at the golden cross, we are going to have a look at the stablecoin dominance, and we are going to have a look at some derivatives exchange data, because what we are seeing right now in Bitcoin is very interesting, and Bitcoin is right now at a level where it literally can make or break the next big move. So guys, let's jump straight into it. Let's start off with this golden cross. So we have two moving average. That's the 50-day moving average and the 200-day moving average. The yellow is the 200-day. That is the long-term moving average. And the red one right here, or pink one, that is the 50-day short-term moving average. And whenever the short-term goes below the long-term, we have a death cross. And whenever the short-term goes above the long-term, we have a golden cross or bullish cross. What we are seeing often, guys, that is the crazy thing about this, is the name should be opposite. Because often when we have a death cross, Bitcoin starts to rally. And often when we have a golden cross, Bitcoin starts to correct. But it's not always. But let me show you guys. So the previous time we had a golden cross, that was right here. We did saw Bitcoin correct, actually quite a severe correction after starting that golden cross. From the moment we formed that golden cross till a couple of days, maybe even weeks after, we had a correction. So let's go back to some previous times. Right here we had a death cross. Well, after this death cross directly, we did have a dump, but we quite quickly after the death cross, we had a rally. Here we had a golden cross, which was followed by a correction as well. Eventually, we went higher, but in the shorter term time frame, we did saw that correction. Then back in 2020, we have right here golden cross, marked the top. Right before the March 2020 crash. Then we had that death cross again. Ooh, the bearish death cross. And then Bitcoin just started a rally. Here we also had a death cross. Bitcoin started this is a crazy rally, guys. This is a rally of 44% on that death cross. Here we had the golden cross, and even though Bitcoin was looking very bullish, golden cross, we still had short-term correction. So I do have to say, guys, that this golden cross in Bitcoin is not the most bullish sign, even though when we go back to these levels in 2015, also after this golden cross, we had a correction, death cross, we started a rally. So we should really like change these terms. The golden cross should be the death cross, and the death cross should be like the bullish cross. Here also golden cross, and yeah, we had a correction. So basically, now where we have a little bit better look at it, basically every golden cross Bitcoin has a correction, right? It doesn't mean that Bitcoin cannot go higher, but at least in the shorter term time frame we have a correction. Could it right now be different? Yes, it can be different. Is it likely that it's different? No. Also, what we are seeing right here is very interesting. We have positive funding rates over on BitMEX, and generally, guys, we haven't seen that for a very long time, but generally positive funding rates, especially, for example, right here in 2019, every time we had positive funding rates, the price went down until we had negative funding. So that is an interesting thing to note as well, that right now we are seeing positive funding on the daily. However, if we go to the shorter term time frame, if we dive into the 4-hour time frame right here, we can already see that funding turns negative. And if we go to willportal.com, we can already see that the funding, and we can make sometimes easier to make a line out of it, that the funding rate is slightly coming down. At least recently it is coming down, as you can see right here. And that is what you want to see in a bull market. You want to see in a bull market that the funding rate goes down, because whenever the funding rate goes down, people are turning more bearish, and when we are in a strong bull market, that creates fuel to go up. So then have a look at the pattern. So those are the signals that show basically that Bitcoin might see a correction, right? Then have a look at the pattern of Bitcoin, because that's most important. We have a very clear bearish divergence. Lower high in the relative strength index, higher high in the price. Generally, that's the first sign of a trend reversal, although that doesn't necessarily mean that it needs to happen. It only means that it could happen if we break some support. Well, Bitcoin right now is riding some support right here. After touching the resistance and getting a rejection, we do come down to the support. If we break this support, guys, if we do break down right here, we can definitely see a further correction all the way down to 32,000 US dollars and 31,500. So that is this area right here. From 31,500 all the way up to 32,000. So that is quite a correction. If we were to measure that move, that would be a move of 7 to 8%. In a bull market, that's not that weird. Bitcoin, in crazy scenarios, we even could drop lower, right? We could drop like 20, even 30% in bull markets is possible. That is something we have to keep in mind. But I also want to emphasize the fact that Bitcoin is in a strong uptrend and in a strong rally. So if Bitcoin can hold these levels and the 4-hour EMA ribbon, so we can remain in this uptrend and don't lose support, don't get a breakdown, we might right here just form a bottom where Bitcoin is going to see the next bounce from and break out to the upside and just continue to rally higher. Because there is a lot of momentum with Bitcoin, and if this thing breaks down, it will definitely harm the momentum a little bit. So also when we have a look, for example, at the total market cap, this is an interesting chart because this is showing us that basically this Bitcoin rally has been mostly going on from liquidity from altcoins going into Bitcoin. Right now it is testing a massive support level also with bearish divergences, which basically means, in my opinion, that if this thing breaks down, that would not look too good for Bitcoin, like in the shorter term time frame. We might just get a further correction right here, because if we go to the daily time frame, you will be will be a little bit more clear. It will be slightly ugly, right? We have a sideways range, then we break out of the range to the upside. We cannot hold that support, and we go back into that range. That is called a fake out. That is generally not the best sign that we want to see. So definitely something to keep an eye out. Bitcoin, if Bitcoin wants to remain bullish and keep up with this momentum, it really has to, in the next coming days, like get that push and inflow of new buyers again. So that's very important. When we have a look at the stablecoin dominance, we do see the opposite. So this is also kind of not confirming but strengthening that dump in Bitcoin, because we are seeing bullish divergences on the stablecoin dominance with this resistance right now. And also, of course, very interesting that that resistance of the stablecoin dominance, of course, aligns directly with the support of Bitcoin. And also with the 4-hour EMA ribbon. So it's very logical, guys, that once this breaks up, Bitcoin breaks down. And that means that in the shorter term time frame, Bitcoin is in a downtrend and the stablecoin dominance are back into an uptrend. And guys, how low that can go for Bitcoin, that is the major question, of course. I think 31,500 up to 32,000 is going to be insanely important. If we can hold that, we might still have that bullish momentum. But if we really come down, it might take a little bit longer to get that momentum back. Because right now we really had a nice, this nice momentum going on. So guys, definitely in the next days we are going to see whether Bitcoin can hold these levels and just use this as a upwards consolidation. That is something we haven't seen for a very long time, guys. That Bitcoin consolidate while actually trending up and then break out to the upside. That is insanely bullish. But if we have to look at all the other signals like the golden cross, everything, then it might be telling us right here that we are going to get a correction, right? There are definitely some warning signals flashing right here. I think it's very important, as we are potentially in a bull market because of that 16-year cycle. It is very important to let everything that we see with signals and metrics confirm by the structure of the chart. So whenever this is breaking down, which could be any moment, right, and this one is breaking up, which also could be any moment, then we have a confirmation that at least we're going to see somewhat of a further correction. Okay guys, that was it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If so, smash up the like button guys, that is very much appreciated. If you want to join Will Alerts, and we did make some nice updates over there recently, we are preparing for some big trades on altcoins, but also on some other investments in this space which might pay out a very good reward in this next bull market. If you want to know exactly what I'm doing, what I'm buying, make sure to join Will Alerts, which is the private Telegram channel where you can receive all that extra golden alpha information about the markets, and it's actually even for free still. You can just join by joining one of these exchanges. Down below this video we have Bybit, we have BingX, we have BitGet, and you basically just need to be an active trader. So you need to make a deposit and trade, and that is the moment that you can basically apply for Will Alerts over on willportal.com. And for the ones interested guys, BingX is a new exchange around the block. You don't need any KYC to join BingX, and you can actually trade the regular financial markets as well. So yesterday I actually opened a position with US dollar Tether on the S&P 500, which is interesting. I just want to try it out. And I think that's really cool, guys, that you can use your US dollar Tether to trade other markets as well, like gold, oil, S&P 500, Nasdaq, even Forex. So that is really, really great. Okay, guys, that was it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it. I wish you all a beautiful day, and I hope to see every single one of you in the next video.